Hi, $300 is a decent amount to buy a good smartphone. In this video, we will see some of the best and latest smartphones priced under $300 and are providing greater performance by all means. Let's start. Samsung Galaxy A33 5G. Samsung's Galaxy A33 5G is a worthy mid-range phone and a successor to last year's A32. The phone looks similar to the premium Galaxy A53. The plastic frame and back have a glossy finish that feels good, and the phone has an IP67 rating for resistance. Galaxy A33 sports a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED screen with a 90Hz refresh rate. Overall, the Full HD display is very good. The phone uses the 5nm Exynos 1280 chipset for next-level performance and a Mali G68 GPU for graphics. RAM options are good. We can get this phone with 4, 6, or 8 GB RAM that will combine with a 128 or 256 GB storage. Running on Android 12 and One UI 4.1 on top, out of the box, A33 is very smooth and fast. What's more impressive is the future updates promised by Samsung. The quad-cam setup comprises the 48MP primary lens with OIS, an 8MP ultrawide and 5MP macro, and 2MP depth. For a front camera, there is a 13MP wide lens that must do well. The A33's camera is pretty decent, but it's a small downgrade from last year's F32. Battery-wise, this phone is a good pick as it houses a 5000 mAh battery that has support for 25W fast charging. This means 0 to 100% in 80 minutes. Super AMOLED display, smart chipset, and a hefty battery make the A33 a good choice in the market. Moto G41. The Moto G41 is another recommendable mid-range phone that comes with some exciting features. The phone has a 6.4-inch AMOLED screen that has got great viewing angles and a 60Hz refresh rate. Both the black and pearl gold color options are attractive, and this phone has got a solid design with water-repellent quality. G41 will run on Android 11 out of the box, and the most important thing is that users will get a minimum of 3 years of security updates for this phone. For performance, the MediaTek Helio G85 chipset is used, and the speed is better than normal for a budget phone. Available in both 4GB and 6GB RAM variants, the Moto G41 will come with an ample internal storage space of 128GB. Also, we get a microSD slot in this phone to expand storage. The triple camera setup on the rear contains the main 48MP wide camera that has the OIS support, and it combines with an 8MP ultrawide and a 2MP macro sensor for clear and sharp photos. The front snapper is a 13MP camera that does decently well at capturing selfies and more. One of the biggest pros is the massive 5000 mAh battery that powers Moto G41. It also gets support for 30W fast charging, which makes charging sessions very short. So altogether, this phone has good specifications, including a nice screen, large battery, and a decent camera. Go for it if you are looking for the best budget smartphone. OnePlus Nord CE2 5G. With the strong build quality and plastic back, the OnePlus Nord CE2 looks exactly like the Oppo Reno 7. Not just that, the inside specs of CE2 are also similar to Oppo Reno 7. The display is a 6.43-inch, 1080 pixels AMOLED display that has a good 90Hz refresh rate. There is the protection of Corning Gorilla Glass 5, and everything else looks familiar about the model. Out of the box, the set runs on Android 11 with the Oxygen OS 11 on top. OnePlus offers 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates, so the CE2 will get Android 12 and 13. Another good thing about CE2 is its performance. It uses the Dimensity 900 chipset that combines with either 6 or 8GB RAM. The internal storage will be a standard 128GB, and this must be enough for most. Cameras remain the same in the Nord CE and Nord CE2, as we get the 64MP main wide cam that goes with the other two sensors, 8MP ultrawide and 2MP macro. Selfie cam is a 16MP wide cam, and this is the only notable difference we can see from Reno 7 that has a 32MP front shooter. Photos are coming out sharp and crisp with little to no noise, and otherwise this camera does justice to the price. Nord CE2 is also getting the same 4500 mAh battery that will have the support of 65-watt fast charging. All the important sensors are there, and we get 8 5G bands, and the obvious 4G plus carrier aggregation is available. So this phone from OnePlus is really a superb deal. Try buying it if you are looking for a budget phone. Poco X4 Pro 5G. With a flat glass panel on the back and a refractive surface, Poco X4 is eye-catching and good to hold. It sports a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with 1080p resolution and gets the protection of Gorilla Glass 5.2. The refresh rate stands at 120 Hz and the screen is very responsive in general. The colors are good, and swiping and scrolling are smooth, but the only downside is there is no support for HDR10. The newest MIUI 13 is used for interfacing on Poco X4 Pro and it runs over Android 11. This UI is a bit unique and you can be the judge of it when you use it. Though Poco X4 does not use a high-end chipset, it runs on Snapdragon 695 5G chipset that pairs with either 6 or 8 GB RAM. The two storage variants are the 128 and 256 GB, and which can be expanded using the microSD options. The Poco X4's triple camera setup hosts a high-resolution 108MP main cam, with an 8MP ultrawide lens and a 2MP macro lens. Up front, we get a 16MP front cam and it does the job well and good. Overall performance of the camera is up to the mark and the quality of shots that come out must satisfy you. Finally, a large 5000 mAh battery is used in Poco X4 and this does great at enduring for long periods. The 67-watt fast charging support is a clear update from before, and the time taken to charge is obviously lesser than before. Overall, Poco has done well in producing a phone equal to the Redmi Note 11 Pro at a lower price. Samsung Galaxy A23. The Samsung Galaxy A23 spec looks a tad impressive. The design of the device is more common with a plastic back that makes it more light and sleek. The screen of the phone is a 6.4-inch TFT LCD display with a 90 Hz refresh rate. Samsung has used the Snapdragon 684G chipset on this phone, and this combines with 4 or 6 GB RAM that sometimes does not feel sufficient for everything. Both 64 and 128 GB storage variants are available in Galaxy A23, so that's good. Based on Android 12, this phone is a delight to use with the full-fledged One UI 4.1 skin. Adding to the great UI and OS, Samsung has promised some impressive updates in the future, so let's wait for them. The camera is where this phone feels a bit superior to other mid-range phones. It has a 50MP primary wide cam, a 5MP ultra-wide, and a couple of 2MP sensors for macro and depth. The front cam is an 8MP wide lens that fits well for this model. Powering the Galaxy A23 is a 5000 mAh battery that can last for over a day. Though there is support for up to 25-watt fast charging, only a 15-watt adapter comes in the box. Altogether, Galaxy A23 is a mix of both positives and negatives. Buy it if you are impressed with the features. Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. Xiaomi's Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G is a more solid and popular mid-range smartphone that has some next-level features. The flat glassback design of the phone is premium and it has a plastic frame to complement the overall look. We also get a Gorilla Glass front and IP53 resistance against dust and splash. The screen of the Note 11 Pro 5G is a 6.67-inch AMOLED with a 1080p resolution and an impressive 120 Hz refresh rate. Though there is no HDR10 support, everything about this screen is satisfactory and the pictures are accurate with sharp colors. Regarding the cameras, this phone has a high-resolution 108MP main camera that pairs with the 8MP ultrawide and a 2MP macro sensor. For selfies, we can snap using the 16MP front camera that does pretty well every time used. Detailing in daylight is good and the rear cam is capable of shooting quality low-light shots, so this camera setup is a quality one. Redmi's notes run on the MIUI 13 over Android 11. The chipset is another impressive thing about Note 11 Pro 5G. it uses the Snapdragon 695 5G processor. RAM options are flexible as we can get the phone with 4, 6, or 8 GB RAM that will pair with either 64 or 128 GB expandable storage. Powering this phone is a massive 5000 mAh battery that supports 67-watt fast charging. We can charge the phone to 50% in just 15 minutes and 100% takes just about 45 minutes. This phone can be a smart choice in its cost range, so look into it if you are looking for one. Nokia C21 Plus. C21 Plus is Nokia's new budget 4G smartphone that comes with some impressive features. This phone has a solid body with a plastic back and an aluminum frame which weighs around 180 grams. The IPS LCD screen is 6.52 inches wide and the pixels are just decent with this display. The glass front is made of a scratch-resistant material and protection against splashes will also be there. Running on the latest Android 11 Go edition, C21 Plus is smooth and it uses the Unisoc SC9863A chipset to enhance the overall performance of the device. Combining with the processor is the iMG GPU and an octa-core CPU that make the handset more powerful and faster. RAM capacity options are flexible as we can get the phone with either 2, 3, or even 4 GB RAM that joins with 32 GB or 64 GB internal storage. Also, there is a microSD slot for expansion. The dual camera setup is a little basic as the phone sports a 13MP main wide cam and a 2MP depth sensor for close shots. Selfie camera is a 5MP one that can do the job if the deal is to click ordinary images. A massive 5000 mAh non-removable battery is powering this Nokia phone and we can easily use this phone for more than one day with a full charge. All the other necessary connectivity features are available on this 4G phone, so the Nokia C21 Plus is not a bad option if you are looking for a mid-range Android phone. Realme C35. Realme C35 is an interesting budget phone that comes out with a unique chipset and performance. Design-wise, C35 is very sleek as it has just 8.1mm thickness and its body and frame is made of light plastic. The IPS LCD screen is 6.6 inches wide and the colors and pictures are bright and sharp, but the downside is we don't have any refresh rate. Realme has used something called the Panda Glass for protection and that's all we know about the resistance. C35 runs on Android 11 out of the box with the Realme UI 2.0 on top of it. The interface is becoming better with time and you will not feel too foreign with this UI. Nextly, the most unique part is the usage of the Unisoc Tiger chipset which does not cause any major problems as of now. This Realme phone also comes with an octa-core CPU and a Mali G57 GPU that makes everything smooth and decent. The triple camera setup on the rear has a 50MP main wide camera that works well with the 2MP macro sensor and a 0.3MP depth sensor. Up front, we get an 8MP selfie camera and this does fairly well in most situations. Though the phone is thin and light, it packs a big 5000 mAh battery that comes with the support of 18-watt fast charging. This is really great from Realme and they have also covered many other features that are found in high-end phones. RAM and storage options are, as usual, we can get Realme C35 with either 4 or 6 GB RAM that combines with 64 or 128 GB storage that is expandable using microSD. All the specs are great on paper and the unique processor can be given a try for sure. Buy the C35 if your budget is really low and expectations are high. Blue F91. Blue F91 is a stylish and sleek device with a reflective back that looks more attractive. Weighing just over 200 grams, this phone has a large 6.8-inch screen that has a 1080 by 2460 resolution. So videos and content are going to be bright and sharp and no worries there. What's special with this phone is, it has both fingerprint and Face ID for unlocking and this is rare in budget phones. Also the port options are very pleasing. The large quad camera array in the rear has the 48MP main camera, 5MP ultra-wide, and two 2MP sensors for macro and depth shots. For a front cam, we get a 16MP sensor and it feels enough most times. Videos can be shot at 4K using the rear cam, but sometimes you might not be pleased with the details and outcomes of the snaps you take. This 5G phone uses the Android 11 platform, and its performance is decided by the Dimensity 810 chipset built on the 6nm tech. Blue F91 also uses a fitting CPU and GPU tech that combine with the 8GB RAM for smooth and fast response. The phone comes only in the 128GB storage variant, and we have to settle with it. For a battery, this device houses a massive 5000 mAh battery that can be charged using a 18-watt fast charger. Also, the support for a 10-watt wireless charging is an added bonus. On the whole, Blue F91 5G is definitely a very decent smartphone at its price range, so go through the specs again and buy it if needed. Nokia G11. Next on the list is the Nokia G11. If you are looking for a classy, light and thin smartphone, then G11 is the best that has both premium looks and performance. On the front we get a 6.5-inch IPS LCD screen with HD+ resolution and importantly a 90Hz adaptive refresh rate. Display is similar to last year as the brightness stays the same and it feels more familiar. The handset will obviously run on Android 11 and everything about the UI is normal and ordinary. For performance, the Nokia G11 gets its power from the Unisoc T606 chipset that pairs with the octa-core CPU and the Mali G57 GPU. We can feel the speed difference as the response of this Nokia model is more quick and smart. The RAM and storage options are just ordinary as the model comes out in either 3GB or 4GB RAM that combines with 32 and 64GB storage respectively. However, we get the option to expand the memory using the microSD slot. G11 has a triple camera unit that has a 13MP main camera that pairs with two 2MP sensors for macro and depth shots. The selfie shooter is a 8MP wide cam and it is up to the mark. Overall camera performance is reasonable, but you can't expect anything too great from the cameras. The biggest selling point of this phone is its massive 5050 mAh battery, which is promised to run for 2 days comfortably on a single charge. We can charge the battery using up to 18 watts, but we get a 10-watt charger in the box. All the other considerable software and hardware features are good, and you can get this phone for fair usage.